Pictures up.
Last looks. Rolling.
And action.
Welcome to the Last Looks podcast, PJ.
Oh, it's good to be here. I love you. I love you. Let's go, Jen.
I think by the end of this episode, everyone's going to love you too. So
Well, that's the only reason I'm here, for America and the world to love me. That's it. That's it.
I love it. Now, we've worked together a few times, and it's always an absolute pleasure. I thought because you're a busy actor jumping from show to show, every time I say that, you kind of go, no, I don't, but you do, that you'd be a good person to speak to.
Yes.
Because of how many hair and makeup trailers you're kind of in and out of.
An ungodly amount. Yes.
And I wanted to pick your brain on what can be an enjoyable experience and maybe what can be not so much.
Yes. I'm here for you. Let's peel the onion back.
Well, let's get to know PJ Byrne, the actor, a little bit, shall we?
Okay.
How long have you been in the business?
Gigantic cocaine problem. That's how it really started. The cocaine.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That's the reality. That's the reality of it. No, that's a lie. How long have I've been in the business? For 25 years, which is crazy to me. I'm going to vomit when I hear that number. I went to grad school in Chicago at the theater school at DePaul University. And I went undergrad to Boston College for finance and turned down a job on Wall Street. My parents were still like, what the hell happened there? But I came right to LA immediately because my buddies on Wall Street were already making a lot of money. I'm like, gee, we gotta make money. I mean, would love to have done theater. But I came right to LA and I got very lucky. I got a commercial agent. I did a badillion commercials early on.
Nice. Which
I think is a great, for any actor, coming up doing commercials, because commercials are a little tougher. It's not as gentle when you're going into TV and film auditions.
Why?
So what's that?
Why?
Oh, you're just more cattle to them. You're just a number and get out of the room. And it's really something. And that's not all of it, but a lot of it was like that. And then when you go to callbacks, there's 19 people sitting there just staring at you. And you're just, they're looking at colors to put on the wall and they could care less about the humanity of it. So that thickens you up. It also taught me to how to make 3 jokes that were not trite, that no one's heard of in 30 seconds, bam, 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 to come up with alts on the fly, to really just show up early and be prepared. So it was good. I also then had to be in front of the camera. And I will always, there was a hair woman, the first person. And I remember I sat down in hair first. And on my first commercial job, and I go, this is my first job ever. She goes, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm like, okay.
She's like, keep it on the down low.
You're going to get a lot more respect on the sets. People actually engage with you and trust your choices more than when you go, this is my first time.
Right.
So I always love that person for doing that. And that's how it started. And then I also worked in development at Warner Brothers simultaneously, at Chris O'Donnell's production company. And I always owe him everything. And that was another great thing for my career, as far as giving me confidence and walking onto the Warner Brothers lot. And seeing the ER set, which I would never walk onto, because I was I'm only going to go on that set when I'm invited. And when that happened, that was a big deal. And I just remember every time I tried to quit, he'd be like, you're a vice president now. But yeah, it was so funny because I just came on to you don't have to pay me. I'm making money doing commercials. I could just be an intern. And then I did coverage on a script and oh my God, you know what you're doing. Cause I went to grad school, for acting. We were, Greeks to present day. So I kind of knew arc and character. Anyway, when I told Chris and his brother-in-law Bing, who was running his company, I love those guys forever. When I finished working there, that's when my career really took off, because I didn't have to worry about reading scripts for Chris and the company, and I could just focus on my career. And that's when it just went ping. And then I was able to just finally pay for 3 children that I now have. These 3 kids. And that's why I work so much, because I have so many goddamn children. It's too many.
Mouths to feed.
So many.
So far, looking back on all these characters that you have played, what are a couple of favorite hair and makeup moments for you?
Well, it's funny. In a recent one, and I will say the jobs, because I never get you, rarely. And that's not to say you are not heavily involved in the choices of my hair, but it's always a team. Like, you're the captain guiding what they're going to do with my hair, and you're coming over and looking, but I never get that first chair hair because also I don't have a lot of hair, let's be honest.
Listen, I'll just stop you for a little second.
Yeah.
But PJ, every time I've seen your name come up, I know that I'm not going to be able to do it, and I'm bummed out. Okay,
we don't love each
because I'm
other.
like, I want to get him ready in the morning, and I want to look after him all day on set.
No,
and I
and
just never
it would
have
be
been able
magical.
to, so.
But here's the thing: you're also very good with actors, and you don't have to handle me because I'll get into like stories about like, truthfully, like how you and I, maybe I'll just start right away. You and I both know that the work is so important to us, and on top of it, we both, I think, do everything in our power to make sure that everybody else is happy as well. I think it's a critical part, and to make sure there's no cancers anywhere on set, because you're friends with directors and writers, and I'm friends with directors and writers. So we know this is not, oh my God, we're shooting this movie in the 6-month window or what have you, or this TV show. This has been a 4-year journey for them, and they're finally here shooting on this day. This is the special crane shot or what have you, or the makeup, or you're covered in whatever, and you got the big hair, or it's at different time. Like, I know everything that went into the notes and the baloney, and is it going to go or it's not going to go, and what's our budget, and we can't do that, and holy shit. So it's just like, I want to make sure everybody is happy, even if it's Friday at like 4 a.m, and we've been doing like 16-hour days. It is such a critical thing for me, because I'm like, we can never come back to this. We're never going to come back. It's going to be forever. Our great grandchildren will see it. But the first true like thing is like, for my teammates, for others, for like, let's make sure everybody's happy. And the things that make me crazy are, if there is someone on the show, it's like, fuck, what the fuck? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I have no patience for that. It makes me...
No patience for what? Explain that.
People have been like, oh, it's late, let's get out of here. Like, what, do we need this like shot? I'm like, I don't want any cancers. No cancers.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go get 500 other people, because everyone's dying to work, truly. So it's just like, I just know the rigmarole. And then sometimes, so anyway, you're good with that. That's like my primary thing. So if I feel or see cancers, and I know I can like cut it first, because sometimes you're gonna have bad days and you didn't sleep, or who's sick, or you have kids, and like, that's a reality of this business that we're in.
Yeah.
But when it's like affecting other people in a way that it's sort of deep seated, and they didn't just have a bad couple days, it's just honest, like, get out of here.
Yeah, they're a fucking downer.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't need, like, it's hard enough. And I'm like, look at these, like, 22-year-old PAs who have been here ungodly hours, and they'll be here after us. And the guys that bring the trucks, and the women that, that bring the trucks and work that bring you back and forth to set. They're getting slaughtered,
Yeah. So answer my original question.
Yeah, so what the hell what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I just got to the heart of it.
I want to know some of your, I know you went straight in there. It was good.
Yeah.
I just want to know some of your favorite hair and makeup moments.
So here's a good one that I love, and sadly no one will see it, but it makes me love hair and makeup. There's certain jobs, because of the economy we're in now, you will know this. We'll show up and we'll have ideas, and we're like, I don't have the budget for that. I'm sure it's just contracting all over. Every department's getting contracted, every salary is getting contracted. So then you must figure out, like, my team, who I want to put together, then what is my actual budget for, hair, and what is it going to be for makeup or what have you. So my buddy I don't know if it will ever see the light of day, but please God, did a movie for Warner Brothers called Coyote vs. Acme. And John Cena and I play and the premise of the movie is Wile E. Coyote sues Acme for faulty products. So it's a very heady idea, which your parents can sit down with your parents and the kids, and everybody can enjoy the movie. So I played the mean lawyer with John Cena. And there was a part in the script where I'm supposed to go get the Roadrunner, right? And it's this funny thing, and I have this super glue, and I'm gonna go get him, and like, that was it. They were thinking about all these bits, and I'm like, what if I go get him and shit goes wrong, and we're just covered in the super glue, and that then will make me go like fuck up my hair and pull all my hair out. So that is very funny. And then after that, I'll just be bald for the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. But when people hear that, they're like, that's a lot of fucking money, because we have to have a bald cap. We have to have a person on set. It was shooting in New Mexico. it's like there was no money for everything. Like I didn't take any money for that movie because of my buddy's movie. It's just like everyone was just kind of there to help out, but they believed so hard in the project, and that's what makes it so heart-wrenching that no one has seen this movie. That everybody gave of themselves in so many ways, but the hair department was like, all right, we can't afford this, we can't do it, but let me just call a friend in LA who is a special effects person, and maybe they'll do us a favor. And so I went over there and I they measured me for a bald cap, and then they tracked down this incredible person who can do bald caps in New Mexico that happened to be there. But it all costs extra money, and it was no the whole way. And I was like, let's just try. Well, let's just see. And I refused to let it go because partly, I had great hair and makeup. They're like, fuck it, let's just see what we can do. And they didn't say no. They were just hearing no from the producers and the money.
Right.
But things like that, when people go above and beyond because they care so much about the work and they care about the product, and we are going in this because we are artists, and I'm just doing this for 1 second joke. I'm doing this for 1 fucking second gag joke. And I now will wear a fucking bald cap every day. So I will show up, 4 hours before everybody, and I will leave an hour after everybody for 1 second joke of a gag going, wow, look at my hair. And then I have to live with that choice. But that's also, I did it for a buddy. It's just, I knew it'd be better. It will live forever. So, and I just think, again, this is forever how long we're shooting, but it will live forever. So there's no getting sick in acting. There's no hassle in acting. There's no hassle in hair. You just got to we signed up for the job and we're here to kill. That's how I look at it. I'm here to kill.
I think
people.
you
That's
should
terrible.
do.
Maybe a dark way to look at it. Wait, what?
You need to go in and be like the morning prep guy, PJ.
Yeah.
You need to walk into the
hype man.
All right, guys. Yeah.
Look, I'm wearing this shirt, champ. It's a hype up my alma mater. I get myself caught in these corners.
It's okay though.
Oh. Anyway, so that was like a really a cool thing and an amazing thing. Hopefully one day you'll see it. I might have a picture of me on my Instagram of me with a bald cap, so you'll get an idea. But the scene
sneak peek.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was kind of a special thing. But I've had so many incredible experiences of, in Wolf of Wall Street, my iconic sort of bad wig as that character. And also or something in Vinyl, or when I just did The Big Cigar, I really feel like hair helps ground me and make it even more real. It helps me enter the time period. Hair and makeup is such a critical part. Anything that makes it feel more real. It's like seeing myself wearing the shoes. Those are the two. It's like, maybe I even thought about it that way. It's like the bookends of my body. It really is. It's like the shoes and how I look, and with that hair, because I don't do a lot of makeup because I'm allergic to makeup. Ironically,
right.
But the glue is a little weird. But if it's for a joke or a thing, where you have to glue on my hair, I have to take it. So screw it. Let's do it. But if I put makeup on it, it's bad. Literally, my face will get red. My lips get red like I'm wearing lipstick. It's crazy. So
not good. That kind of when you are first cast on a project, does someone normally from hair and makeup reach out to you?
Yeah,
before
they
you
do.
Start?
Yeah, it's you're you're a buddy, so it's helpful. But it's this. It's do you want? Can we get a picture of you so we know what the hell you look like already? And then the demands come in for me. The demands: don't you dare cut your hair. Stuff like that. That comes in.
The one thing, you know what? When I ask you to not do that, I know it kills you, and but I have to ask you.
We're 8 months out. I think we're 8 months out from shooting this. How am I not cutting my hair? I'm like, you understand how I don't have great hair to begin with?
Hang on.
Okay, I'm joking.
With that last one, there was a strike in the middle.
Yeah. That's now. Oh, that's right. You actually. We were 2 years out. We were 2 years out of this movie. Don't cut your hair. No, but I also love you because you were cool. Because I was shooting 2 different again. A lot of kids. I work on a lot. I work in bulk. But I was shooting a different movie down in Atlanta while we were shooting the recent one, the Bob Dylan movie. But you were like, I was like, please, can we figure out how to keep both? And you saved me because I think Mangold wanted to shave my hair back a bit. But luckily, I have enough of a receding hairline that I was okay. That I was okay to keep both, look like I'm in the 80s, and also look like I'm in the early 70s, the way I slicked my hair back. So thank God. I thank you for that. You saved me. But
No,
also,
it worked. Well,
yeah.
it's also like, well, Jim just didn't have any idea of your hairline.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to have to shave it. And I was like, we really don't.
I know.
It's fine.
Just thank God. Because
it'll be fine.
But that's
Don't
the thing,
worry.
though. Sometimes an order comes down from the top, and whether like some people, like he said, we got to shave it. So like that's it. There's no like common sense sometimes in there. It's just like, no, we don't. We can get around it and we're fine. People are like,
yeah,
you gotta cut it. I remember. This is interesting. Edward James Olmos. I did a TV show where it was about a high school. It was on. It was like it was a movie. It was on HBO. Oh my God, this is funny that I brought this up. And no one. I was shooting another thing simultaneously, but no one told me that I had to cut my hair for period. And I'm like, you can cut it a little, but I have to go match. And then if you watch that movie, my face is just cut out of the whole thing. It's like, you just hear me talking. I was like, it was an early job. I was like, all right, I got it. I'm in this thing. Look at this great HBO movie. So I think I had to work one day. No one was like, wait, I got to shoot all this other. And then he just cut my head out of the whole movie.
And is it just because nobody reached out to you to see what your current situation was, all that type of thing?
They're just like, he's low on the call sheet. He was probably, a 73. And they're like, we'll fucking cut his hair. He wants to work. Screw it. We own him. So, and that was it. So there was
not always.
But there was no playing. There was no slicking. But like, I feel like you would have handled that completely different. But they were just like churn and burn kind of thing. Like, and then I bet Almost is like, fuck it. Let's just cut his head out. And it was funny because I was developing a TV show with him and his company at the time too. So it's like, I'm going to see you again. I am going to see you. So like, what are you doing?
He's like, I don't care. I'm just going to decapitate you. It's fine.
He didn't tell me.
So with you having allergic reactions to stuff, is that like, do you get nervous if makeup don't reach out to you before you shoot? Or does that conversation normally...
Hair will, makeup sort of, they'll be in, if it's a higher end job, they'll reach out and I'll just tell them like I'm allergic to makeup. But also I feel like with the cameras right now, they're so good. If you don't do makeup perfectly, like you really can see it. And then luckily everyone's like, oh, you have good skin, so we're okay. So hopefully that lasts a little longer, but it does. My mom has it, my sister has it, my actually Sally, my daughter Madison has it. I see her if she tries to put stuff on, it's like, wow. We're just very sensitive. We're just sensitive people.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that conversation normally go well, or sometimes do makeup
I will say this.
Believe you, or
I have this conversation every single time with maybe now because I've been doing it longer, but literally it's 97% of the time I go on and people make up. It's better now because I'm sort of like, guys, trust me. And I'm like, I've done this a lot and I have my whole spiel put out, but they're like, no, I have something. It's organic. No one gets sick from. It's like, boom, it does. There's no reaction. It's completely organic. And then a makeup person told me one time, they're like, you know what? Poison ivy is organic too. Just so you know that. That's organic as well. And that's what I say. I'm like, so is poison ivy. That's like my go-to joke now. But I'm like, look, we can do it. And then I put a little on, or I'll put some on for the first day, and then they'll see how crazy red my lips get. I'm just like, okay, we done doing this now? Just to be like, I didn't want to get into the argument because then it just creates such a fissure. So they have to see it to really believe it. So it's not as much and more, but it happened all the time, especially when you're like a guest star on a thing or you're doing recurring. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And in about 7 hours, watch my red lipstick put on, and no one put lipstick on my mouth. Watch this. And so, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it turns like a headache. It's a whole to do, but it's just like, I do that to be like, not be a jerk, but to be like, you're not going to have this weird vibe with me from now on. You're going to see I was being honest and it's cool. And I'd just rather do that than be like, listen, I'm not doing that, and just have any cantankerous relationship. It just makes it easier. And again, going back to like, let's keep the vibe happy. I'm not here to be a cancer. Like, I'm here to help the cause. I know all the work that went in this shit. Like, you're having a hard day too. You don't need to deal with whatever. And, it just makes it easier.
I think it's something I always tell hairstylists, and I mean, it goes for makeup as well. It's just like, you know your hair better than I do. I
Right.
just met you.
Interesting. Yes.
Like, you know your skin better than you live with it every fucking day.
Every day.
Who
Except
am
on
I
Thursdays.
to?
Except Thursdays. Yes.
Yeah. But who am I to turn around and be like, oh no, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
just
appreciate
we have so much knowledge, but it
That's
only
what
goes
makes you
so
cool,
far.
though.
I
That's what
mean,
makes you great. That's why people love you.
is that what
Because
it is?
you're also normal. It's so good.
Wow, normal.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but like that's the people you like working, like highly functioning, like incredibly talented at their craft, normal, good humans. That's who you want to go to work with every day. That's the people you want to play with. And
Yeah, it's true.
It's the greatest way to go to work.
Yeah. So when you do come into a trailer and sit down at someone's station, what are some red flags you might see or kind of experience immediately?
I mean, if they seem disinterested, like, or they're multitasking on something else, or they're looking at their phone first, or like those are some red flags. And if you're a parent, your kids, whatever, and it's like a heightened, like something's going on, that's a totally different thing. But like, yeah, those are like, I just can, you just tell. And I don't know, I meet everybody in the trailer. That trailer is like, that starts your day. It's a really important part, especially on a new job. And it's also, you want to be tactful. You don't want to like overly introduce yourself to anyone, especially if someone's monstrally famous. Like I don't approach them until someone like looks my way, or says hi. But that trailer in the morning, and also like as the job goes on as well, it's like you want to make sure that energy in the trailer is there as well, especially if you're gonna have a long day. And people are tired by Friday. People are it's just you get up Monday at 4 a.m, and then by the time you get to Friday, you're waking up at like 4 p.m. So it's a journey, that. So that trailer to me is sacred. It's like that's such a great bond. I always love my hair and makeup. I love that hair and makeup. I have you guys with us all day. It's like, you're our angel protectors, truly. I think those relationships with actors, like no one gives that enough credit. But that's why I also say it's like, I won't say like one person specifically in each job, because I get thrown around to different people, or I don't get the main, but it's, I love everybody because I feel like everybody's a part of that. And I actually do like getting different people because I get to engage so many people on the set, but again, to help the energy that sort of permeates, and that sets a good example. So if a person is down or out like that, just, they know not to bring that around me. I think people even know not to like bring that energy. Cause I'll make something fun about you. I'll make fun of you in a good, positive way. Like, we're not going to fucking do that. That's not going to happen here. Yeah.
Have you ever been in a trailer situation where you just can't bring that mood up because there is some gnarly dark storm clouds hanging out? I did
a movie. I don't even know if I should say this, but I did a movie, and it was with Samuel L. Jackson. It was very early in the movie, and something wasn't going right on set. So I was my first day. I just sat in the chair, and Samuel L. Jackson came in, and Samuel L. Jackson was Samuel L. Jackson, the scary actor. It was the greatest thing I've ever saw in my life. But I understand completely where he was as an actor. He goes, I'm not saying that. He's like, I'm not going to do his choice, because if I do that choice, he's going to put that in the fucking movie. And he said that so like intense and magical. He's like, it's still in the shoot. You can get me off the movie right now. And I was like, holy shit. He said it the coolest Samuel Jackson way, which I will not even attempt to try to do that. But it was like, holy fuck. And the producers, and they were like, hey, Sam, let's come, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that take because I know what happens at editing. He's going to use the take that I didn't want to fucking do, but I just did it for him to make him happy. And that's in the fucking movie. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I got it. And then, but that's also Sam had to kind of push his weight around to go, this is what I'm how I see the character. But he's just a pro. He's done it for so long. He's been burned. So he knows. So that's a vibe in the trailer. You're like, hello. Okay. But there's been some cool moments like that, but I just remember Sam doing that. But I also learned from that moment, I'm like, don't do a choice you don't want to see in the movie,
Right.
Unless you really trust that director or the writer or the team. Because sometimes I'll be like, I don't know if I really like that, but I trust them so much. And then I've seen it I'm like, fuck, they were right. So I have such a weird, but sometimes there are choices that I'm like, that's a terrible choice. I refuse because I know that's going to live in there. Because now we made it cantankerous, and you're putting that in there for spite. So
right.
That's very rare though.
So when you, just to do the opposite of you coming into a trailer, sitting down for the first time, like what are some positive things that you see that you're like, okay, I feel safe. I feel like I'm in a good space.
I mean, it's just, you and I have been doing this so long. It's just like, do you have kids? Where are you from? It's like starting to feel that connection. You and I also have been doing this so long. We probably don't go on any movie sets now where we don't know 5 people. We know 5. They're like, oh my God, whatever. Or we've worked. I rarely going to a trailer now where I don't know one person.
Right.
Or it's been a long time. They come up to me, we worked on, and then it like flies back to me. Because you and I also meet about 4,000 people a year. It's just like in all the jobs that's happening. So it's about connecting. It's about asking them, where they're from and their family, and just being genuine with a person and genuinely engaging with them. Because I also know we're about to live together I'm not with my family at all. You're not with your family. Like, we're living, nothing shoots in LA anymore. I'm going to go live in Dublin now for like 5 months. I'm like, you're my family now. So like, you are, like, we are connected, and we're going to share a lot of shit together. Not only because of the job, just like shit's going to happen in the next 5 months with our family. Like, stuff's going to go on. So I just want, great hair and makeup people know that, like, it's vice versa. I'm here for you and you're here for me. And like, we're here to be humans together and normal, and care about the work and care about each other. I guess you're making me think about my philosophy. I never really had to think about this. Thank you. I guess that's what it is. It's like I'm like articulating what's going on in my brain. But I say this is my super thing that I think about. I always go ABC, like, always be classy. Like, I just say that to myself all the time. And if it doesn't pass the classy test within like life or business or on the set, or there's parts where you're gonna bang sometimes with people, it's just like, what is the proper way to handle this or interact with people? And if you have that in your ear and in your mind, that's sort of the way I believe that makes everything smoother.
Yeah.
And cocaine again, and cocaine. A lot of cocaine.
Well, that's an ABCC.
And you can switch the C's, whatever you do first. If you want to do cocaine, then classy, or classy, then cocaine. It's like, it can move around.
Whichever way around, yeah. So do you tend to like to be part of the design process for your character? Like, do you enjoy that aspect?
For sure, yes, all of that. Unless it's so specific that, because you're going to show me the light. Like, you're going to show me where we land. And but I like that I guess I like feeling that I'm a part of the process. But when it's like such a period thing or whatever, you literally, you're like unveiling a unicorn to me on my head. So that's actually like a magical thing to behold. Like, you really made me look like, Harold Leventhal in a way that was like, fuck, I can't believe this. And a lot of it was just like, you saw through my receding hairline and all of that. Something that I did not see. I was like, they're going to shave my fucking head. They're going to shave my fucking head.
Nah, we don't need to do that. Come on.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I do remember for Babylon feeling like I tortured you for that entire job.
Well,
because that's probably the longest and scruffiest you've had your hair in a while.
That was, I mean, for Babylon though, it's funny that job, I was all in for everything. I knew we were going to be outside. It was going to be intense. I just knew it's about the elements and being raw and being big, but grounded in sort of the best sense. And when we were
probably thought that you were going to do a 1920s film. So you're like, yeah, my hair's going to be all nice and short and tidy.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I'm like, no.
I mean, can we make him sweat more and look more disgusting and greasy? But that's the truth of that. Like, that added to, like, when I saw myself, I'm like, I'm fucking a mess. I'm a fucking mess. That added to, like, that character. Like, he's like on the fucking edge. I mean, did he? I don't know. Like, I mean, he might have committed suicide after all of that. So it's like, because he was really fired after that day. But I also knew I was like psycho and all in, so I felt nothing. Like, my close up, there was a big scene that we do when we come into sound where I yell a lot, And my close-up was not on until the third day, but I was like, I am fucking
I remember
here to be crazy every fucking day, you know, to give all.
I think by then you were like losing your voice, weren't you?
I lost my voice for like almost a month and a half, like 2 months. It was gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude.
it was, but I was like, again, it lives forever. That's another thing. Like, I know I'm not gonna have a voice. I don't give a fuck. I just wanted to make sure that, like, when I was yelling, you heard it enough. Like, can I still have something? But after that, it was done. And I remember some actors came over like, dude, what do you do? You don't have to fucking do that. Like, you're not even on camera. But I knew, like, I also have known Margot, and I love Margot. And we've done a couple jobs together. And I feel like Wolf of Wall Street, hers worked out a lot better than mine. But like, we kind of, Wolf of Wall Street is a big deal for both of us.
Yeah.
So I just feel that kinship. She's also the like highly functioning normal human who's the best. So I was like, I'm going to be just as crazed and as intense as I can for her and all the other actors, because they deserve it. They deserve that. This moment deserves that. This movie deserves that. Especially when I saw her when we were in the early days when we were outside and she did that cry scene.
Yeah.
I was like, if this woman's winning an Oscar, I was like, I'm watching an Oscar fucking performance right now. So you bet after watching that, I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that I was there for my pal. You know, that was it.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, as a crew member,
Yes,
on that fucking hot stage for 3 days, doing the same thing over and over again, and sweat levels and this and that, you were the most. You were just bringing me joy every day. So you were the thing that was getting me through, because that was a hard 3 days, I think, for everybody.
that's a hard,
more so for you guys, but
no, for you,
just being able to watch you each take and hear you, and you just give it everything every time. I would literally be standing in the corner going,
oh, that's all I want. See, this is all coming out. That's all I ask for. Those are moments also in your career with it's so sweet that you say that, because there's moments on set, and I think you know this as well, where something's happening, right? Where it's like, oh, this is special. And you feel the room go, boom, boom, right? And like, everybody's with you. Like, the PA is with you. You're just bringing everybody along. Like, Margot has that talent. When I acted with Leo has that. There's just moments where things are happening. And like, if you could help add to that, like, fucking like, let's fucking go. Everybody's in the zone. You know, our DP was like, he was with me. It was just like, everything was just like, everyone brought their A game, it felt like, in that moment. And that starts with like the PA in the corner to like, you know, the people like running the power. It's like, and then it's like everyone was ready to fucking go. And when they said action, I'm glad you saw that, because if we felt it. We felt all of that.
yeah, no, it's brilliant. And I will say, anyone listening that has not seen Babylon, I would watch it just to see PJ lose his shit.
Yes, and my voice for a month and a half. That's how I lost it. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I understand.
Oh, it was like a joke. It was
why.
so crazy. I knew it was coming, but I was like, it's gone. It's going to go away. It's going to go away.
It was so good. So good. I think I remember messaging you saying that you needed your own spin-off. Like, I wanted to see the life of that first AD. I wanted to see.
That's actually a really funny idea. Like, well, I'll call Damien. Like, what are we doing? Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
It's like, why is the guy so fucking angry? And it's just like, well, because he's a first AD.
But no, don't you know people like that could click the fuck out? Yeah. There's a guy, Adam, who's a first AD, who's like the best first AD I've ever fucking seen. And he's like Spielberg's, he's Marty's, he's like some other monsters. And I think he was like the first AD to like get a producer credit. Like, he like set the tone. But he's he was a part of what I thought of, except he has this insane ability, but like action, and there'll be like 700 extras, and he's like, you just hear him like screaming and fucking nuts, like telling all the other like PAs below him where to go, and then they'll go cut. He's like, so what are we thinking for a drink tomorrow? What are we thinking? Or it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? He's like, cut. He's like, I have this beautiful Rolex I just got, PJ. I don't know.
That's magic.
So I had him in my head that like, except he was, you know, my guy was like the insane, like evil version of of him because Adam is like the nicest. He's historically the best. He's the best of the best.
I just want to know. I think you've kind of given me. I feel like what am I trying to say? Your biggest pet peeve, I suppose, just from hair and makeup, is just people being a downer.
Yeah, vibe, positive. We gotta be happy.
Yeah, the vibe.
Yeah.
Do you have any horror stories for me?
The horror. I mean,
I'm being dramatic.
no, I know. I'm just. I gave the horror stories are things not happening, and everyone ultimately finds a way, to make it happen. So it's just sometimes it's like props. Like if I get a props kid that's lazy and doesn't want to find me something, like get out of here. Like I'm like, I just need like this cool whatever pen, or it's not even like a complex fucking thing. Yeah. But if they have a reason to say no or not do their job to their like fullest effect, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, why are we fucking here? Like, let's not be lazy. Don't be lazy. Also, because I know how much work you put in and I put in to prepare to get to this day. It's like, come on.
Have you ever kind of noticed, I guess, decent kind of continuity issues or anything like that with your characters that you've wanted to say something but maybe haven't, or have needed to keep on top of for?
I mean, this is
hair and makeup?
I just did this is continuity, but it's completely at everyone's control. I was shooting The Big Cigar, this Apple show in Toronto, and I got food poisoning in like the first episode, and then 2 weeks later I got COVID, and it affected my stomach so bad that I lost like 35 pounds in like a month, and no one knew like what the fuck was going on.
Shit.
Yeah, it was like crazy. So it's just like when we got to the last episode, I just was thinking, I was like, I say this is a joke, and I don't please God I've ever cancer, but I'm like, did they just get rid of PJ's cancer storyline because he's just this, and now he's like, did they just get rid of that line? Look at him now. But it was crazy. But that was another scenario of like, I was so sick, I could only eat like eggs, like scrambled eggs and chicken broth. And then we went down to Colombia, and it was just like no one still knew what was going on, and didn't realize it was the food poisoning. So it was like,
oh
yeah,
wow.
And then it turned into SIBO. It was like a whole crazy thing. And then until I got back, they like, I went to the doctor and they figured it out. But that's another thing. Like, there's no getting sick in acting. We committed to this job. Like, let's go kick ass. But as far as continuity, yes, my face went a little whoop, and they cut the cancer storyline. No, that's a lie. But yeah, it didn't exist. It didn't exist.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I feel like you've had a good run then, if that's your only big continuity.
Oh issue. Yeah. No, I'm also on it and thorough, and I don't have a lot of like hair to ultimately play with it with. So.
I know, but people can mess stuff up all the time because they're not paying attention.
I pay attention in the chair. Before I walk out of that room, it's addressed. Put it that way.
Yeah,
it's addressed,
and that normally goes well.
Yeah, we've just been doing this so long. We know how to talk to people now, and and handle it, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. And for those that, I mean, if it is brought up by an actor, it's like, listen, the other one, they've been looking at it every day, and before, when you've been doing it, and your character's journey better than
it's critical. Anybody. It's that, and that's the thing. I mean, for me, COVID, the only upside of COVID was when we had to go quarantine for like 2 weeks before we started a job. That's what I do anyway. I just sit in a hotel room, like ordering food, like in a book for 2 weeks before it started. Like there was nothing different for me about that. I just felt bad for my wife. I'm like, I really left my wife here. I mean, she is, and I wanted to give her that gift because we were 3 kids. I left her alone. I'm like, honey, you need this gift. I sit in a hotel room and there's no child jumping on me. It's quiet. It's crazy. I want you to give me this gift. That's my only. I felt terrible about that, but I know. Prepare, be good, be classy. It's pretty simple. If you apply the,
I know, but people get it wrong often.
But I mean, the good thing is you get to pick your team, and you pick a great team. You pick good people. So you may, if I see you or other people that I love and know that are like head of their departments, I'm like, fuck, great. And partly is because you're gonna pick badasses to show up and be cool and be happy and be team players and slog along, and punch back and win.
I hope so. Well, PJ, thank you very much for your time today.
I love you. I'm so proud of you. Where are you in the world right now, by the way?
I'm in Long Beach.
Oh, you're in Long Beach. Aww.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Silver Lake.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I'm close to you.
Are you seriously going to Ireland for 5 months?
Yes, I'm going to Ireland for 5 months. What do you know? Where am I going?
Nothing. I've never been there. It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
the food's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Takes place in Charlotte, the TV show, shooting in Dublin. Doesn't that make total sense? There you go.
What? Yeah, okay. Everything's moving out of town.
Leave it on that one. All right, I love you so much.
Thank you so much, PJ.
You're my hero. Talk soon.
That's a wrap, people.